Hey guys, welcome to another developer sneak peek. And today we're going to show you a brand new feature, which is the attachment analyzer. Um, we can agree that attachments are crucial. With good anchoring, most movements are possible. The problem comes that anchoring, where to put attachments, there is a lot of nuances into that. Several doctors have their own thinking, their own protocols, and newcomers, they they try to, understand this, but it's a very complex process. And here at Titan, we have been trying to teach doctors, not just give them the tools and allowing them, to do everything, but also guide them so that they know why and where to place things. And this is what we're trying to do with attachments. Let me show you. So, so far up to now, when you're in attachment mode, we show you the forces that are being applied to every tooth, right? We show you each of the forces, and that way you can decide based on that movement, as the teeth move, there is, a decomposition. You can decide which tooth need attachments. Like maybe here you need an attachment because the forces are moving this way. Yeah. In here you may need a rotational. Okay. You know, but it's a lot of thinking, which is good. You have to understand what's happening, but we want this to be a very easy process. So what we did here is that we are analyzing all this data, and we're gathering a lot of data in the background, and we're going to be talking about that later. Um, so we're gathering a lot of data, and we analyze all these movements for you, and then we give you hints. So now in the attachment panel, we have this section, the attachment analyzer. And once we do an analysis, we highlight, you know, all the possible situations that are happening here. Like in some tools, we're telling you, hey, we suggest that you put movement, regular attachments on those green teeth. We say that anchor, like some of these may need anchor. Um, that elastic, we can also, when you're doing digitalization and things, we can suggest elastics to you. So this way, with the color coding by itself, you can quickly see and if you're good, you understand what's happening, and if you forget something, we're doing more than that. So we are also providing you with information like, let me see, like these two over here. It says that it may need an attachment because they are parallel forces to the surface and there is an intrusion. So we recommend placing attachments on the side. You see, these two over here is intruding, right? So if it's intruding, the plastic is trying to push, and you don't need an attachment there by itself. But if you just let the plastic do the movement, this section of the plastic is gonna be pulled out of the surface. So this one is telling you that it needs anchors in his neighbors, either here or here. And we show that. So if you mouse over them, we're telling you, hey, the four or one of his neighbors need an attachment to provide anchor for the intrusion of this one over here. So we're showing you where to place the anchoring, and we do this for all of them. Some of them like in here. Let me put here. So when we analyze this one, we just say, hey, this movement, the forces are trying to move it to the side, and the forces are parallel. See, parallel to the surface. So yeah, you may need an attachment there, or this may not move. Because it's not an intrusion, you don't need anchors on the sides. Okay, that's nice to know. That's no. See here, this one over here. This one is an easy. So in here, the teeth is extruding, and because it's extruding, what we say? So it's extruding. So we say you have parallel forces, that are producing this extrusion. So you need a movement attachment to be able to do extrusion, and you also need anchors on his sides. See, you need an extrusion here, and you need anchors in one of those or in one of those. We don't force you to place an attachment here or here. Either one of these is fine for anchoring. If you start making it farther away, placing an anchor in here, it may not produce a correct anchor for this section because the plastic will start to go up and, break out of the surface. But yeah, we're suggesting, giving you these hints very quickly. And we do even more, like in here. We're telling you that this to correct this, this deep, a little bit of deep bite, you may need a bite ramp. So in any of these tooth over here, you may need a bite ramp. Most likely one here and one here. Um, oh, here. This one, this one is a nice one. This tooth, see, is rotating the root, and because it's rotating the root, it's a very difficult movement for the plastic to hold into it and rotate. So we're saying, hey, you have parallel forces and a root movement that may need an attachment there to anchor it to the aligner and be able to rotate it. So you need one attachment here. And yeah, it's so this way you can easily see on a large scale what's happening. And if you have doubts, you mouse over and read what the information that we gathered from that tooth, and that will tell you the why you may need attachment. You may not agree with some, you may decide to do it differently, but at least you have more data points that you can use in your evaluation. And we provide even more. So after we gather all this information, you can also use our AI and click here, explain, and show more. And it will give you, a briefing of all the situations in your movements that may need attachments and what are we suggesting. And because this is the AI, then you can add follow-up questions to that. Like, do I really need, this or that? And it will provide based on all the measurements that we have, all the occlusals or the other things that are there. Um, Now, these things change as you do movements. Like, let me do one and set up. Let's say, I mean, this is a silly movement, but let's say that I'm gonna take all of this and move, oh sorry, putting it in the back, and I'm gonna do this thing here. So sorry, just for testing, right? Um, so if I do this, for sure, the analyzer told me now that hey, these ones are not gonna be moving correctly. They may need attachments, because the forces are parallel, for sure. We knew that, but see what's happening here. It's telling me that hey, to do that, you may need an elastic so that it helps with the movement. We're doing that analysis for you. Um, and by elastic, you can put anything, just a precision cut. You can put, a button, some things. And we go even further. This is great, but everybody has its own protocol. Everybody has its own rules. So if you click here, rules, you can see some of the rules that we have been introducing and allow you to customize them, like rules for, hey, parallel forces, for extrusion, for intrusion, root control, things like that. And then you can, define your numbers. So when do you think that it's going to be needed an elastic when the movement is more than this much? Over here you have how do you categorize the different movement? Like small intrusion is when this much is moved, but a big intrusion is when this much is done. And this way we can know if it's the complexity of that movement. And based on that, we suggest different things. Um, I suggest this is just a first revision, and we're gonna be adding more rules. So if you have rules that you want to include, if you have your own protocols, send that to us. We will very happy to add more rules here. Uh, One thing to notice that these rules compared to all the softwares in the market is that these are multi-teeth rules. Like we analyze like if there is class 2 movement, we do elastic between a canine and the molars under the arch. If there is a intrusion, we do anchoring to the sides. This is not just like in other places that you say if this tooth move this much, place an attachment. I don't care about the neighbors. And if these tooth move this much, this is a more complex analysis. And there's more things running in the background, but we want to show that later. It's gonna be fun. Um, but yeah, tweak these numbers, play with them, let us know what other rules you would like to have included, and yeah, let's try to find out protocols for everybody. But this is meant to help you. Oh, and moreover, yeah, this is all fun surprises. Um, Once you finish your treatment, remember that you can also go to the validations. And in the validations, we're now enabling also these rules. Remember, validations is when you get to the final to the end of a treatment or something, you can check for common situations and be warned if there's problems, so that you can correct them and not miss them. Um, these two rules, we just enable them. One rule is if there is not enough anchoring, which in this case, there are teeth that are moving, and these ones like they need anchors so that the plastic doesn't pull out of the surface. So there is also for the if there are parallel forces that are not being covered, we're gonna be adding more. But if you see these ones like there's problems, yeah, come to the attachment step and analyze this. You It may be fine. We're just giving you the suggestions, and it's up to you to decide, where to place them. And this is what we have right now with the analyzer. But the next step after this, oh, yeah, you already saw it, that when you click here, we can explain that to you as well. The next thing that we're coming after this, it's the placement of these attachments. Now that we have a lot of information, now that we analyze why and where we may need a attachments, then we have to decide which tooth are we really going to place attachments on? Because sometimes if there is like anchors can be placed here or here. So if there is another tooth here that need anchor or here, you may use this one and not the one that is close to the teeth moving. Uh, it's those nuances, like decide where to place attachment, if you're going to place it higher or lower, if it's going to be a rotation attachment. So that's the thing that is going to come next, is the overhauling the automatic placement of attachments, but always trying to teach you why, because you're the final arbiter of this. And we just want you to have all the information that is needed right at your hand. Not to think too much, you know, not to have to find out things before getting to get that information. Yeah, I mean, I hope you like this. We are really excited. And this is just a first preview. We will need to tweak these numbers. There's gonna be more rules, but I'm excited to how you will like it. It's yeah, just let me know. Yeah, hope you like it. Have a good one. Bye.